All right, race fans, welcome to TurnLeftTV. Be ready for some high-speed action tonight. Step on the gas. All right, race fans, welcome to Texas Motor Speedway. This is TurnLeftTV, and I'm your host, Heath Johnson. We got a great one for you tonight. Texas, baby. Everything's bigger in Texas, and it's the final race of the season, 2020 summer season here in the High Octane Racing League Buschwackers Series. 98 laps at a very challenging track. A lot of fun here at Texas, and I'm excited about this one. We're going to crown the champion at the end of this race, so excited. You're going to see some great racing action here at Texas tonight, and only see it live right here on TurnLeftTV. Well, it's Texas, baby, and I got Bristol up there right now. It's going to be a great race here at Texas, not Bristol, Tennessee. Let's get it on, boys and girls. All right, hey, thank you so much for joining us here on TurnLeftTV. A little Texas Motor Speedway action for you, and right now we are in the practice session. Just finishing things up. About 7.5 minutes left to go. Jose Carvalho is the first one in the chat. How about that, eh? Buenas noches, my friend. Good to see Jose in here, and he's going to be racing tonight. He's one of those, I'm sure, favorites to win this race. He's going to be up on top of the wheel here tonight, racing from Brazil, one of my good Brazilian friends. Texas Motor Speedway, a great track. Excited about this race tonight. We'll take a look at the track here at Texas. 1.5 or 4 turns, of course. If you don't consider the front stretch, those two little kinks there in the front stretch turns, got 4 turns. Banking in turns 1 and 2 at 20 degrees, banking in 3 and 4 at 24 degrees. And I'll tell you what, man, you cannot really get any more different than going into turn 1 versus going into turn 3. Very different. And I would say, got to be careful as you get off the turns that not getting into the wall there. The car does seem to, as the run goes on, get a little bit tight there coming off the turns. So we'll be curious to see how guys make adjustments as we go through the course of the race here at Texas. Another great buddy here joining us in the chat. Brent Owen joined us in here. Good to see him. Thanks to all his work on helping me out with some changing some camera views and throwing the shaders on these cars and just making these cars pop. So he does some great work there at Happy Hour Racing League. You want to give those guys a look too. Happy Hour Racing League. So their motto is every Monday we race. Good to see Brent in here. And again, tonight is Texas Motor Speedway. It's race 10 of 10, 98 laps here tonight on this 1.5-er. I'm your host, Heath Johnson, the broadcaster and the commentator. I guess I'm the commentator and the broadcaster. Right? That's the order there, but thank you for coming in. This is round number 10 and the final race of the season. We've got an exciting season coming up for you next season as well. Next week we start the next one, but we got a score to settle with Texas tonight, and this should be a great race. Well, we'll take a look at the top 10 in points coming into tonight's race. Ed Palumbo has a little bit of a lead there over Paul Brown, but that, I'll tell you, man, 17 points difference between the two of them. Not something that's inconceivable there. Paul Brown's got a shot there of maybe squeaking one out there, getting by Ed Palumbo, but Ed Palumbo right now in somewhat of a comfortable position. I'm sure if you ask him, he's going to say no, but Jair Oliveira sits in the third position. Jose Carvalho is fourth. Tight battle there. Preston Hassel in fifth. See Lauren Stopworth in the sixth position. Colin Madiak in seventh. Todd Robillard is in the eighth position. Givaldo Spindola is ninth, and Arthur Vieira rounding out the top 10. But if you look at that points position 5, 6, and 7 there, man, that is tight too. So we could see some changing some positions with those guys. And then don't forget about Jair and Jose, that Brazilian versus Brazilian battle between the two of those guys. Good friends, and good battle between the two of those folks there for 3 and 4, P3 and 4. So excited about what we got going on here tonight in the Buschwackers series. A lot of positions can change hands here tonight. Take a look at the time there. Just a little under 3 minutes left to go. How about that? We got 17, 18 drivers. We got some guys going in and out and so forth, but some good stuff going on there with a good number of drivers here joining us at High Octane Racing League. I want to thank you so much for joining me here on TurnLeftTV. Peace to everybody out there. Hope everybody's being cool to one another and enjoying life. Here we are clearly in summertime, and it's wonderful. Been nice, really, really nice here in central Indiana. We got a big race coming up on Sunday for real. The Indy 500. How about that, man? Indy 500 in August. Who would have thought? But excited watching that on TV. And seeing those Indy cars going around the Brickyard. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, I encourage you to do so right there. Just give it a little tap, and then if you'd like to make a donation, you can click on that link up in the banner of the channel. Please hit the thumbs up, though. Let me know you were here, and appreciate that. Share my videos with all your friends, and I encourage you to share these TurnLeftTV videos on all your social media platforms. And I want to say thank you again for coming in and watching the races right here on TurnLeftTV. Ain't nobody else broadcasting races like TurnLeftTV, that's for sure. Preston Hassel said, enjoy the race, should be fun. He's coming in here and joining us in the chat, and he's going to be racing tonight. So remember, he's 5th in points coming into tonight. So he's had a pretty good season. Good to see Preston out. I was so happy to get a hold of him and get him back into racing. He was, just sort of perfect timing, too, because he was really starting to think about getting into racing again, and we got him in here. So Sotos also joining us here. Good to see him in. Good luck to him tonight as well. So about 30 seconds left here in the practice session. Hey, if you're interested in some comics, please give ZiaComics.com a look. Your nerd headquarters. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. ZiaComics.com. They got comic books, they got action figures, they got games, you name it. Your nerd headquarters. That's ZiaComics.com. All right, I got to head over to the qualification session. Take a look at the session results. I think we got those. So top time in practice, Michael Ware, 28.695. You know, he's going to be one of those favorites to win. But look at that, man. Lightning fast, but also 1,000th of a second separation, Paul Brown and Michael Ware. Colin Madiak in third. Dan Chu fourth. Todd Robillard fifth in practice. Ed Palumbo sixth. Preston Hassel seventh. John Stanley eighth. Otiris Contagoras is in ninth, and Lauren Stoppelworth 10th. Take a look at Sean Jacobs there in 11th. Jose Carvalho 12th. Jeff Sickles in 13th. Ismael Castro joining us again. Good to see him. Buenas noches, my friend. Jair Oliveira, good buddy of mine, also in 15th. Tony Reiner shown in the 16th position. Steve Pierce is 17th, and I think we might have a couple more guys here joining us before the end. Well, the race schedule, kind of see where we've been. We started off the season at Daytona. Kept that racing in Florida with Palm Springs Speedway, and then went out west with Phoenix. Pocono, the tricky triangle there on July the 10th. That was a great race. Kansas Speedway on the 17th. Martinsville, some short track action. Watkins Glen, a road course. We got Chicagoland and Bristol. Those were great races. And then finishing off the season here at Texas. We'll take a look and see what we got next season for you. Talladega starting next week. Get right back into it. 70 lapper there. Eagle Creek, that is Kentucky, on September the 4th. And you see that Steve Freeze Memorial Michigan race there. 125 laps, so that's going to be a 250 miler there on September the 11th to honor our great friend Steve Freeze, the guy who meant so much to High Octane Racing League. So excited about that. A little nervous, but excited too. Going to hopefully have some old guard HORL folks coming in and joining us and getting in the broadcast booth and giving us their memories and talk a little bit about what Steve Freeze meant to them. North side, that's Richmond coming up on September the 18th. New Hampshire on September the 25th. You see IMS, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, 60 lapper there on October the 2nd. Mountain Peak, which is Charlotte, coming up on October the 9th. Maple Valleys, California, October the 16th. Brookdale, that is Darlington, October the 23rd. Hey, that's my birthday. I'll be darned. The Lady in Black on my birthday. And then Las Vegas Motor Speedway to finish out the season there in this 2020 fall season. So this is hot off the presses, the season or the schedule for next season right here on the High Octane Racing League Bushwhackers Series. Friday nights in the Xfinity cars. See if the side-by-side is working. It's going to give us the same view, but hey, it's working, right? Hey, that's all that matters. If you'd like to get a hold of me on Discord, you can click on follow those links there, or type in that link, Heath Johnson, number 8278. You can message me if you're interested in doing some racing here at High Octane Racing League, or you're interested in some broadcasting. Give me a shout. There's TurnLeftTV Discord as well. You can follow me on Facebook at TurnLeftTV1 or at TurnLeftTV on Twitter. If you want to join the High Octane Racing League Discord, got that address right there. It's right over there. And we'd be more than happy to have you. Also, if you'd like to, please support me at TurnLeftTV by going down in the description of this race and clicking on the Fanatec link there. It says help me out, and follow that to them to their website. And if you're interested in purchasing a wheel or pedals or any sort of racing equipment, please give those guys a look. And if you decide to buy something through them, please follow that link. That would help me out a great deal. And thanks to all those folks who have done so. I greatly appreciate your support here at TurnLeftTV and High Octane Racing League. Discord address right there. Again, if you're interested in joining High Octane Racing League, there's a good Discord address to follow. Take a look at the chat. Look at that. William D. in here. He says he's here to watch and watch races and post squid facts. That's awesome. That is awesome. Looks like Givaldo Spindola finishing up his qualification attempt there. Number 68 car. All right, qualification is finished, I believe. We're pretty close to being finished here. We'll get the starting lineup here in just a minute. So 2 minutes left to go. Noah Townsend joining us in here in the chat as well. So we're in the qualification session right now. These guys are in the driver's meeting, but good to see you, Noah. In the it's going to be a lot of fun here tonight with 18 drivers joining us. So excited about that. And right now these guys are in the qualification session, and we'll kind of get an idea of this will be all blacked out here other than the 28.731 is the top time. Looks like Paul Brown top on the grid here so far. We'll get the this thing switched over. So about a minute and a half left here in quals, and then we got a warm-up session, and then we'll get after it. Well, who won last week? Bristol. Ricky Emerson, man, I tell you what, he spanked the field there. That pit strategy worked out in his favor. Guys really got caught back in traffic, and he was able to get a lap on everybody. They were not able to make up that lap, and he stayed out a little bit longer that first run, and it really helped him in the long run. So Ricky Emerson gets a big win at Bristol. Paul Brown finishes in the second position. Michael Ware was third. Ed Palumbo finished in the fourth position. Jose Carvalho in the fifth position. You see Colin Madiak, Todd Robillard, John Stanley, Lauren Stopworth, and Jair Oliveira rounding out the top 10 last week at Bristol. That was a great race, man. One caution flag. That was it. Just a great, great race. I'll tell you what, anytime you do 150 laps at Bristol and you only have one caution flag with 16 drivers, that is a great, great job those guys did. If you'd like to join us at High Octane Racing, you can do highoctaneracing.net and look us up there. We got the full point standings, some link to TurnLeftTV, of course, and then the information about the Buschwackers series if you want to give highoctaneracing.net a look. My web authoring skills are not the greatest in the world, but this is what I come up with. All right, looks like quals are finished. Take a look at the session results, qualifications. Paul Brown, 28.731. Qualifies in P1. Todd Robillard in P2. Colin Matiak, P3. Ed Palumbo, P4. Dan Chu qualifies in the 5th position. You see Michael Ware in 6th. Lawrence Stoppelworth 7th. Sean Jacobs qualifies in the 8th position. John Stanley 9th. Ismael Castro qualifies in the 10th position. Preston Hassel qualifies in 11th. Sotiris Contagoras qualifies in the 12th position. Jeff Sickles 13th. Givaldo Spindola qualifies in the 14th position. See Jose Carvalho, Jair Oliveira, Tony Reiner, and Steve Pierce decided not to run quals, so they'll start in 15th through 18th. Now Givaldo Spindola. No, Givaldo Linares. Hey, Givaldo! Good night, everybody. That is hello, basically. Joining us in the chat. Good to see him. Oh, excellent transmission. He's always in here chatting it up, so good to see him in here and his support at TurnLeftTV. Always appreciate that, and hope you're doing well. Givaldo and Preston coming back in here. Squid have 3 hearts. I'll be darned. William D. with the Squid facts tonight. So now these guys are in the warm-up session, so we'll how about that, man? Ismael Castro coming in here in S70 car. Good to see him. He's been in and out a little part-time racing this season, so hopefully he can be a little bit more full-time next season. Preston Hassel in the 27 car. So about 7 minutes before we go live, baby, with the race. And again, if you're just joining us, tonight is Texas Motor Speedway. Mile and a half, one of those cookie cutters. This is located in Fort Worth, Texas. 98 laps tonight. Race 10 of 10, the final race of the season. Next week we have Talladega Super Speedway to kick off the 2020 fall season. Race number 1. 70 laps there from that famed Super Speedway. Kicking off the fall season. Right, we had a guy who actually requested to start off for Talladega. I think I had Indy there first, and somebody said, hey, about putting Talladega first. I said, let's give it a shot, man. Going to be a lot of drivers out for that race, I'm sure. Well, I'm excited about that one. Love Talladega. Arthur Vieira joining us in the chat. How about that, man? Arthur Vieira. Always good to see Arthur in the chat session. Now, I don't know if I see Arthur Vieira's car out there. I'm looking around for him right now. Gonna have to get on his case a little bit. I don't see that number 4 car out there on the grid. All right, man, we got about a minute and a half left here in the warm-up session before we get this bad boy going. Hopefully the stream looks okay. It looks okay as I'm watching it on my phone there off to the side, but got some drop frames there on my OBS, but things looking all right, I think. no fret. I always record this to a file that if there is an issue, I will upload a hard copy of that and get a clean copy. Well, I'll tell you what, man, you got to be patient here at this track. With 18 drivers here tonight, going to be a lot of rubber down on the track and a lot of traffic to deal with. Got to be patient here as this car really changes throughout the course of the run, too. Stop work there. Getting everything, getting some new fenders on that car. All right, boys and girls, we're about ready to make it happen here. About ready to make it happen. So 98 laps here at Texas tonight. This will be a blast. It's going to be a great one here tonight. So thank you so much for coming in. And here we go. We're going to get it on. Texas Motor Speedway, race number 10. We're going to crown the champion at the end of the race tonight. Who's it going to be?
Attention grid, will all non-essential personnel leave the grid now.
And now, race fans, for the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome your Grand Marshal, singer, songwriter, megastar, and Ford truck man, Toby Keith.
It's time to get in, sit down, shut up, hold on, drivers, start your engine!
All right, boys and girls, the starting order. Paul Brown starts on the pole in that 77 car. Todd Robillard starts in the second position. In third. Oh, missed it. Let's go back there. There we go. In third is Colin Matiak. In that 13 car, Ed Palumbo in the 54. The points leader starts in the fourth position. In fifth is Dan Chu in the 14 car. Michael Ware starts in the sixth position. Lawrence Stopperworth seventh. Sean Jacobs starts in eighth. In ninth is John Stanley. Ismael Castro starts in the 10th position. Preston Hassel 11th. Satoris Contagoras starts in the 12th position. Jeff Sickle starts in 13th. Givaldo Spindola 14th. Jose Carvalho starts in the 15th position. Jair Oliveira starts in 16th. In 17th is Tony Reiner. In the 18th position is Steve Pierce. All right, boys and girls, this is going to get fun here in a hurry. So 98 laps here at Texas. 18 drivers joining us. Everything's bigger in Texas, and the racing is going to be big tonight. Pace car is in. Paul Brown down to the bottom line here.
Green flag, go, go, go!
Boogity, 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 boogity.
Let's go racing, boys!
All right, through the tri-oval. Into turn one is 77 down low. If everything works out in favor for him with a big field here, he might be able to win this championship. So keep your eye on the 77 car. '90th Todd Robillard tucks in the second position. Colin Matiak is third. Ed Palumbo in fourth. Take a look at Ed Palumbo in that fourth position, looking out the front of his machine. You see this car jumping around here. This track is a little bumpy. This car is a little bit loose early in the run, too. Colin Matiak there looking on the bottom side of the 90 car here, trying to get around that 90. No, can't do this time by. The 13 car tucks back in. Running in the third position. Michael Ware, Sean Jacobs. Actually, Sean Jacobs and Lawrence Stopworth battling for position at 24 and at 41. That's 7th and 8th. Kind of that second crew right now. Michael Ware running up in the 6th position, the tail end of this front 6. Looking out of the front of his machine, that Dan Chu, the number 14 car. Kid knows the tail. Everybody's sort of behaving right now, but I'll tell you what, man, a little bit of gap there between 1 through 6, P6 and P7. But John Stanley here in that 12 car. Stanley Tools, Chevy Camaro running in the 9th position. Preston Hassel just behind him in that 27 car. Totoris Contagoras, we called him Sotos. That 12 place car, he's running in the 6X, the purple machine. Temporary car until we get a good paint scheme. He's diving down on the low side there, and Ismael Castro in that 70 car. Oh man, that's tight right there. Ismael slamming the door. Oh, Ismael there getting a little bit loose, leaving the door open, man. He almost got into the wall, and 6X now diving down to the bottom side here. Good race there between the two of these guys. Racing hard early. Might pay the price in the long run here as using up those tires. Preston Hassel here starting to peek down on the low side here below the 12 car. That 12 car drifting up high. He's going to leave the door open here for the 27 car. The 27 on board here with him as he gets through. As we'll look out of the back of, there we go, we'll look out of the back of the 27 now at that 70 car. You see the 12 there up on the high side. Oh man, it got a little tight there between the 6X and the 12. So Preston Hassel here now closing in on Lawrence Stopworth. Preston Hassel running in the 9th position. Take a look at Dan Chu and Michael Ware, the 48 of Michael Ware down on the bottom side. That Atwood sponsored Camaro gets by the 14 car. So Michael Ware, I tell you what, man, he's going to be a factor before the end of the race. Running in the 5th position, Dan Chu back to 6th. And taking a look at our race leader here now. Tony Reiner on pit lane, I believe, already. Sure what's happened to Tony Reiner, but that 81 car on pit lane. Take a look at him. You see him on pit lane there, taking service early. He may have gotten into the wall. I'm not sure what's happened to Tony, but a tough break there for Tony Reiner. Early pit stop for the 81 car. A long pit stop for Tony Reiner. He must have some pretty significant damage there to make that pit stop. Javier Oliveira in the 17 car, and the 99 of Jose Carvalho. Battling for position side by side. Sinister Racing. Number 99 car, he might have gotten into the wall there coming off of turn 4, a little bit into the tri-oval, and that 99 car might have made some contact with the wall. Jose right now running in the 15th position, and I think I saw some contact there for the 99 car. Back up here with a 77, Paul Brown. He's got some company there as we look out of the back of his machine at the 90 of Todd Robillard. That Napa-sponsored Chevy Camaro, and he's starting to put a little pressure here on this 77 car. That's 77, second in points, 17 points out of first. And he and Ed Palumbo are going to be battling to the last lap, I believe, for that championship. Two guys here in the hunt tonight for the championship. He's 77 right now leading. He's got the pole position, so that can earn him a few points. And then now leading the race. Ed Palumbo in 4th where he needs to be, having that 17-point lead. Todd Robillard is peaking on the low side here as he's wanting to get around this 77 car. Well, Todd Robillard on board here with that Napa-sponsored Camaro. He's down on the bottom side. Oh, it's tight between the two of those guys, man. They almost got into one another. That 90 car diving down to the inside. Now drag race between the 77 and the 90 down the backstretch into turn 3. This is for the race lead. 90 there drifts a little bit high. That 77 is going to make him earn it. How about that, huh? Look at that racing right there. Side by side for the race lead, the 77 and the 90. A lot of room there going into turn 1 for the 90 to pull off that pass. The 77 tucks into the second position. Is he going to come back here and try to get that spot back? Look at that racing right there. The 77 and the 90. That 77 going to give him a taste of his own medicine maybe. Going down to the bottom sides. The 90 up on the high side. Again, looking out of the back of the 90 of Todd Robillard at that 77. He is looking for an opening. He wants to get back to the race lead. He wants to lead the most laps. He's got the pole position. He wants to lead the most laps, and he wants to win the race. That's the strategy, I think, for that 77. Good racing right there. My heavens. Colin Matiak in this mix too. He's in that third position in that 13 car. He's got a lot of laps here at this track, and he looked pretty strong here tonight. He could be the sleeper. 13 car, Colin Matiak, one of those Ohio drivers. Sean Jacobs here looking to make a pass on Dan Chu. 24 car versus the 14 car. Into turn 1. A couple Camaros there racing for position. Sean Jacobs going to pick up 6th. Dan Chu back to 7th. I think actually Lawrence Stopworth might end up following Sean Jacobs through. So Lawrence Stopworth going to pick up a position. See that 41 car getting by the 14 there. Hey, there's a palindrome. 41 and 14. There's a palindrome right there. I love that when that happens. My gosh. Steve Pearson is 72 to 68, and Givaldo Spindola racing for position. That Captain Morgan sponsored Mustang. He's a Texas native there, Steve Pierce. Says, this is my home track, man. He just got up, ate dinner, and then came over to the track for the race. So picking up the 16th position. Good run for him so far. John Stanley in the 12, looking on the bottom side of Ismael Castro, the 12 car. John Stanley trying to pick up a spot here. That's Stanley Tools Ford Mustang getting by the 70 car. Michael Ware now in this mix in that 48. He's looking to take over the third position up on the high side of Colin Matiak. So the 48 of Michael Ware, he's climbing up here in this mix. Well, he's looking pretty strong here tonight too. Paul Brown here looking on the bottom side of that 90. Oh, man, tight through the try over there. The 90 pinching him a little bit. The 90 pinching him a little bit, and Paul Brown going to pull off that pass. Look at that, man. That is tight racing. Get down to the back of the 77 car. Michael Ware is now peeking on the bottom side of the 90. Good battle there. Man, that is some great racing. You always see this level of competition right here at High Octane Racing League. I don't know what happened to JJ there. He may have gotten into the wall, but I think he's retired his machine. So Jair Leveda, he's had some trouble. It looks like he retired his machine. That is a tough break for JJ. Oh, man. I can see that out of him. Sean Jacobs here now rolling up on the 54 of Ed Palumbo. 24, Sean Jacobs looking strong. And this guy right here, I'll tell you, Sean Jacobs, I've known him for a long time, but I'll tell you, in the last, I'd say this last year that he's been racing, I have seen a lot of improvement late in the runs. I mean, when you're looking at these long runs, Sean Jacobs is one of those guys that that name is always on the table there when you talk about guys that are really, really strong late in the run. He has figured something out about saving those tires, and that guy really, really is a factor as we watch this 13 car getting down below the 90 here to try to take over the second position. So Colin Madiak trying to take over second, and I'll tell you what, man, the 90 car. You ready, William? Are you listening, William? The 90 is in a hornet's nest right now. How about that? 90 car indicating that there is no communication with the spotter right now. Spotter for the 90 is not working. So something with that radio. And you see that the 48 car got that car sideways. Man, he touched the grass. Got that car sideways. Sean Jacobs up here in this mix now as a 48. Man, he is really pushing that car pretty hard. And as 24, Sean Jacobs looking strong as you see him now looking to go by the 90. Look, Sean Jacobs down on the bottom side here of the 90. And he's trying to take over the third position. How about that, huh? Colin Madiak here now looking to take the race lead. 13 car now pushing his way up to the race lead. He's worked his way through traffic and now gets by the 77. So Colin Madiak taking over the race lead, and they're rolling up on the 68 here. The 68 lap, a little bit of lap traffic. Oh, 3 wide at 68. Givaldo Spindola. Wow. How about that, man? 68 there got up in the wall a little bit, but these guys racing for the second position. 24 and the 77 were 3 wide there for a second with that 68 car. We're starting to get some guys coming on pit lane here. The 13, Colin Madiak, is the race leader, and we got some guys who are indicating they're coming down pit lane. Look at this. We got huge pit stops here coming on. There's a lot of pit stops on the menu there. 24, 77, the 90 all on pit lane. Colin Madiak, the race leader, staying out, getting another lap in. He's indicating he might be coming down pit lane. So interesting deal here with some of these guys on pit lane a little bit earlier. '24 and the 90, the 48. '54, Ed Palumbo indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane here, so I'm not sure what's going on there with Ed Palumbo indicating he might have gotten into the back of somebody. I'm not sure what the deal was there, but 54 now coming down pit lane. He's led that lap. He's definitely gotten lap led in, and he's going to get some points for that, but I hear him on the radio, and he is hot. Colin Madiak here is going to end up taking that race lead, but Ed Palumbo on pit lane. Take a look at him as he's taking some service here. Ed Palumbo on pit lane here. That 54 now coming back out on track. And he is right now shown in the 9th position. He might have had a little bit of damage. I don't know. I didn't see the incident, but I'm hearing so there might have been some a slower car in front of him and kind of slowed him up a little bit. Colin Madiak is the race leader. Paul Brown second. Michael Ware in the 3rd position. Sean Jacobs 4th. Todd Robillard in the 5th position. 30 laps in, caution free so far. This 13 car is strong here tonight, that's for sure. One of those young gun drivers there from Ohio. Michael Ware looks like he's peeking on the low side of the 77 car. And Michael Ware getting around that 77. We'll take a look at that pass as 48 kind of setting him up a little bit coming out of the tri-oval. Getting by on the low side. The 77 giving him quite a bit of room there. Take a look at Dan Chu in that 14. Running in the 7th position. Have a pretty good night. He's had a little bit of a layoff here. He had a couple of races. Got a little busy. Life gets in the way sometimes. But good to see him back in the 14 in that Chu's Plumbing Camaro. Baldo Spindola in that 68 car. Right now running in the 14th position. Michael Ware now rolling up on Colin Madiak. This is for the race lead. That 13 car is the race leader. 48. Michael Ware running in the 2nd position. Good battle there. Those guys walking away just a little bit here early in this second run from P3. That's Paul Brown in the 77. So John Jacobs shown in 4th. Take a look at Lauren Stopworth. Here's running in the 5th position. Actually running in the 6th position. And Steve Pierce there up high. Pierce getting into the wall. We'll take a look at the 13. And that Captain Morgan sponsor machine number 72. A home track for him. He's a Texas native. Oh, man, he's smacking the wall there as the 12 car. John Stanley taking some evasive move. Steve Pierce there smacking the wall just a little bit. On board here with him as he's diving down to that low side and I'm going to gather his thoughts. Good to see Steve Pierce out tonight. Guy's a character on Facebook, man. I see some really cool post from him. He is a massive race fan. I mean, all forms of racing. Steve Pierce is a huge fan. And, he just pulls some great stuff out and posts it on his Facebook page. I like following him and seeing that stuff he's putting out there for us. Take a look at John Stanley here as he's getting by the 14 of Dan Chu. Up on the high side, John Stanley looking pretty strong. He is running in the 7th position. Dan Chu back to 8th. And John Stanley starting to look at that 41 car now. So Stanley Tools machine here looking pretty strong as the 41 Lauren Stopworth, the Mac Tools machine. So, Stanley Tools, Mac Tools, good little battle going on between the two of those guys, the 12 and the 41. John Stanley picking up that spot now up to 6th. How about that? Lauren Stopworth running in the 7th position. Dan Chu just behind him and that Chu's Plumbing machine. Down on the bottom side, giving him a lot of look. Oh, there's a palindrome. 1441. There's a palindrome. There's a palindrome. You're like, what? Huh? I know Smarty Will. He knows. Endurance Cube joining us. Is that Endurance Clube joining us? How about that? Good to see them in here. There's like some new faces. Endurance Clube. Hi, guys. Go, go, go. BR drivers. We got a BR fan in here. You can see them. So, taking a look at Jose Carvalho in that Sinister Racing number 99 car running in the 11th position. Ed Palumbo here making some moves. Now getting by the 70 of Ismael Castro. Another one of those great NASCAR BR drivers. Ted Palumbo in that mellow yellow sponsored Camaro. Hey, lay off the guy. Lay off. Palindrome is going to be the next Hornet's Nest. That's right. Palindrome. He is in a palindrome. So Ed Palumbo picks up that spot. He's now in the 9th position. You can see him bouncing back here a little bit. That Preston Hassel in the 27 car running in the 12th position. So Colin Matiak is still our race leader. He's got 0.6 of a second lead over Michael Ware, running in the second position. So 27 of Preston Hassel running in 12th. Got 3 guys out of the race. Jeff Sickles, Jair Leveda, and Tony Reiner is still shown in the pits. He's not officially out of the race, so. So Paul Brown here now racing that 48 car. This is for the second position as the 77 going down to the bottom side here, picking up P2 as the 48 now back at P3, but he's doing the crossover move. Down on the bottom side, that 48 going to try to get that position back to 77 using that high line. Holding on to that spot. Michael Ware now back to third. Paul Brown in the second spot. Take a look at Sean Jacobs in the 24, the 90 of Todd Robillard. Those guys racing side or tight together there. That is P4, P5. Sean Jacobs. Good battle there. Now Michael Ware he's got that next car ahead of him here, 1.9 seconds behind Michael Ware, so he's got a little bit of work to do here to catch up to that third place car, but he is closing the gap there. So he and the 90, 24 and the 90 working their way up to the front. Owen Stopworth in that 41 car. Getting by that 6X, not for position, that's 6X. Satoris running in the 15th spot. Owen Stopworth in 7th. Take a look at this pass here a little bit earlier on Dan Chu. That Lauren gets around the 14 car. This is the pass for the 7th position. Dan Chu got around him and then let him back by. So again, it was just rekindling the, you see the smile on his face, rekindling the palindrome. There's Sean Jacobs here now, closing in on Michael Ware. He and Todd Robillard. Oh, Todd Robillard drifting a little high there as we're looking out of the back of Sean Jacobs' machine. Todd Robillard, Michael Ware gave him a lot of room, but Todd Robillard drifted that car up a little bit high. Using all the track to make that pass. Michael Ware dropping back there just a little bit. Hard running those tires early in the run is maybe starting to catch up to him as we're looking out of the back of the 24 car. He's in P3 right now. Michael Ware dropping back to the 5th position. We'll take a look at the 90 of Todd Robillard running in the 4th spot. Watch Sean Jacobs here closing in on Paul Brown. The 24, Sean Jacobs, that Western Auto machine, getting by now, taking over P2. 90 of Todd Robillard going to follow him through. So Paul Brown dropping back here a little bit. So Paul Brown running in the 4th position as the 90 and the 24 get by and set their sights on the race leader. Working together there a little bit was maybe Sean Jacobs and the 90 of Todd Robillard working together. We'll take a look at Sean Jacobs here in that 24 at Western Auto sponsored machine. Now in P2. '14 car, Dan Chu indicating he's going to be coming in into pit lane here. See Ismael Castro sliding that car around sideways. That 70 car down to the front of his machine at that 14. You see that 14 slowing on the track. Come down pit lane, and a good move there by Ismael Castro. These guys talk to each other on TeamSpeak. Talk to each other on team speak. Let each other know when they're going to pit. Colin Matiak is the race leader as Dan Chu is on pit lane. A little bit early, I think, for Dan, earlier than maybe what he would like. And we'll take a look at the side-by-side view here as Dan Chu making a pit stop on lap 51. We have been caution-free. Caution-free here as the 13 car looking to get around the 27. Put him a lap down, so Colin Matiak got a 1.9 second lead. Oh, Preston Hassel, man, he slid through the grass right there. We got a whole slew of guys here. You see the 99 coming down pit lane as Dan Chu's finished up his pit stop. Preston Hassel here might have had some trouble. Yellow flag comes out. Oh, Preston Hassel hitting the wall. Now spinning this car. Oh, does he catch it? No, he doesn't. And the yellow flag is out right there. So Preston Hassel. Now, I didn't mean to jinx it. I swear to God, I didn't mean to jinx it. Did not mean to jinx it. Let's see what the... So there you go. He's got some boogered up tires, and the car comes around on him, and we can't get to the good camera view on that. Kind of see what kind of led up to that, and it looks like he had some really got up high, got into the wall, into the gravel there, and he was just trying to catch this thing. So Preston Hassel. On pit lane now, or excuse me, bringing out the caution flag, and I would suggest you he's probably going to come down pit lane and get some service done on that machine. 13, Colin Matiak is the race leader. Todd Robillard is second. Sean Jacobs in the third position. Michael Ware shown in fourth. John Stanley shown in the fifth position. Ed Palumbo is the lucky dog. How about that, huh? Woof, woof. For the 54 car, he gets that lap back, and that is exactly what he wanted. Back on that lead lap. So good news for the 54 in his championship bid. Get back on the lead lap as Colin Matiak is the race leader. And Todd Robillard is second. Sean Jacobs is third. Michael Ware is in the fourth position. John Stanley shown in fifth. Brent Owen says Ed's got to be happy about that. Well, he hasn't really been too vocal on the radio, but I would suspect you are right about that. He is probably pretty darn happy as we're going to see some pit stops here, I would bet. 90 car coming down pit lane with 13, following that 13 car. And I'm hearing the 13 car might have gotten caught speeding here. He's thinking he might have sped coming down pit lane. So some drama unfolding here under the caution. Look at that 90 car, the way he's gotten into that pit lane. He didn't have a lot of room. The 13 was at the very edge of his box, and that 90 car, that is going to hurt the 13 car, I think, as he is going to have to try to back up. Look at this. Oh, no, he's going to go around a little. Uh-oh. Oh, my God, there is going to be some conversation. There is going to be some conversation over that one, I think. Look at this. Sean Jacobs going to come out of his. Look at those guys on pit lane. They're going to end up fighting each other on the way. Oh! Look at that. Fighting each other on the way out. Watch this again. There's some jawing back and forth right now, I think. The 99, or excuse me, the 12 of John Stanley is shown as the race leader. Ed Palumbo behind him. We're getting these lap cars coming down pit lane now. Sean Jacobs is shown as the race leader. Don't forget, coming up next week, we start the next season, race number 1, and we'll be at Talladega Superspeedway. 70 laps to kick off the 2020 fall season. Should be a great one. Love Talladega. These guys really requested to have Talladega started off, so I was like, let's do it, man. We moved it to the front of the season and kind of switched positions with Indianapolis. Well, Sean Jacobs is the race leader, and these guys ahead of him, I think, are going to be wave-around cars. Paul Brown, one of those wave-around cars, I believe. So here we go with the wave around cars. '24 has elected to go down to the bottom side. The 90 of Todd Robillard is in second. Colin Madiak in the 13 car down on the bottom side in the third position. Michael Ware in the 48 car. Shown in the fourth position. All right, well, 57 laps in, one caution flag, and we'll keep our fingers crossed because we know what they say, cautions breed cautions. Cautions breed cautions. The 24, Sean Jacobs, he's been strong late in the run. Can he hold on here early in the run up front? Todd Robillard there sort of working with him in that second run. Here we go, back to green. 24 down on the bottom side here through the tri-oval into turn 1. Colin Madiak just behind him in that 13 car. Pressing hard on the bottom side, looking out of the back of Sean Jacobs' machine. At the 90 and the 13 side by side. 90 using that high side. Holding on to that spot. To the 90 of Todd Robillard in the second position. Michael Ware and 13 of Colin Madiak battling for position. That 48 car now moving up to the third spot as Colin Madiak is in the fourth position now. Michael Ware showing some strength here. Looking out of the front of Michael Ware's machine. He's looking at P1, P2. Colin Madiak there looking back down on that bottom side in that 13 car. So P1 through 4, these guys have sort of broken away. Ed Palumbo in P5, that 54 car. Down on the bottom side there below Givaldo Spindola. Paul Brown in P6. These guys right there, 1-2 in points. Running in 5th and 6th. Ed Palumbo, they're going up to the high side. Now diving down low as 77 going to try to follow him through. Givaldo Spindola in that 68 car. Letting those guys go by, giving them a little bit of room there. Tell you what, man. Oh, Givaldo might have gotten that car sideways. We might got that car sideways. He hung on to the thing. Holy Toledo. Let's take a look and see what happened to Givaldo Spindola here in this 68 car. This guy, oh, he smacks the wall right there. Look at that thing. That thing is wrecked. Holy smokes. That is some driving right there to hang on to that thing. Going to go on board here with him. He is going to be panicking this here. He's panicking right here. Look at this. Holy smoke. Actually, he didn't panic. That's probably why he kept that thing straight. Great job to Givaldo for holding on to that. Colin Matiak here and Michael Ware battling for position again. This is for P3. The 13 car diving down to the bottom side as he is now trying to get by that 48. The 48 giving him all he wants right now. 54 Ed Palumbo in this mix, looking out of the side of Colin Matiak's machine at the 48. Michael Ware. Good battle now. Ed Palumbo in this mix. Paul Brown in this mix as well. Good racing right there, and I know what we're going to call that. We're going to call that a hornet's nest. Look at this, a 90 of Todd Rollwire here now looking for the race lead down below the 24. The 90, that Napa-sponsored machine, now going to the race lead. That is some hard racing. These guys here know how important track position is. Back behind the 54 and the 13 battling for position. Ed Palumbo in that 54 car, the points leader coming into tonight. Trying to get around that 13 car. John Stanley in the 12. Having a little battle here with Michael Ware. John Stanley's having a great night here tonight. He is running now in the 7th position. He gets by the 48. Now the 48 car trying to tuck in, but that 99 of Jose Carvalho was right there in that Sinister Racing sponsor machine. Jose Carvalho now picking up that spot. Ed Palumbo here now trying to get by the 13 car. Taking over that 2nd position down on the bottom side. Can he get by the 13? 13 holds on to that spot. Michael Ware and Dan Chu now battling for position. Michael Ware dropping back here a little bit now. 14 getting by as Michael Ware battling maybe a tire issue. Not sure what's going on with the 48 car, but the 14 getting by. Taking over the 10th position. Colin Matiak here now gathering his thoughts and getting up here beside the 90 car, battling for the race lead. That 13 car down on the bottom side. Remember, we saw the 90 and the 13 get into each other on pit lane. Side by side, Paul Brown in this mix as well. That 77 car. Remember, he's 2nd in points coming into tonight. Paul Brown now looking on the bottom side of the 90 to try to pick up P2. He is now setting his sights on the 13 car. So Paul Brown now has the 2nd position, looking at the 13. That 90 car maybe has a little bit of damage after that pit stop. Remember, on the tail end of that pit stop, the 13 car went down on the left side. He was kind of blocked in his pit lane and then or pit stall, and he got down on the bottom side and passed on the left and got into the 90. So the 90 might have a little bit of damage that he's dealing with. 14 and the 99 battling for position. The 14 of Dan Chu, and that Chu's plumbing. Oh man, he smacks the wall. He comes off the turn. Turn 4, smacks the wall again. 14 car twice into the wall. He came off turn 4, got into the wall, then through the tri-oval, smacked the wall again, and now he's going to end up giving up that position to the 99 of Jose Carvalho. Holy Toledo. Let's go on board here with the 14 cars. He's almost losing it right there, and he smacks the wall, and he's going to smack it again. Ooh. '24, Sean Jacobs down on the bottom side here. Oh, no, he gets into the 90 car. Sean Jacobs gets into the 90. He was trying to pick up the 3rd position, and he got into the 90 car. Let's go on board here with Sean Jacobs. Is he trying to make this pass on the 90, and the thing just goes, gets high on him there, and he could not hold on to it. That thing just started drifting up the track, and he smacks the wall. 90 saves it. My heavens. Go on board here with the 90. Watch this, man. He is off for a ride. Watch, he's going to get tagged in the back end. And look at that, man, working that wheel. He saves that car. Great job by the 90. John Stanley now making that pass there on Sean Jacobs. Good heads-up move there. John Stanley now in the 4th position. Lauren Stopworth in the grass. Battling Ed Palumbo, 41, now getting by that 54. The 99, Jose Carvalho trying to get by that 54. So Jose Carvalho now picking up that spot at 54, back to the 9th position. 90 car down on the bottom side. Man, how did he save that thing? And now he's picking up the... Now picking up the 2nd position. Paul Brown back to 3rd. Ed Palumbo shown in the 10th position. Remember those points battlers. Michael Ware in the 48 and the 99 battling for position here. 74 laps in. Silvio Cividini has summed this up. Oh, man. Zach Watson in there rooting for Paul Brown. Paul 24 car here now getting by that 77. I think Paul Brown indicating he might have some problems here. I don't know if his tires are destroyed or the car's destroyed. I couldn't hear him quite on the radio, but he's having some trouble. Michael Ware here making a pass on the 70 car. Ismael Castro in the 7th position. Michael Ware moving up to 6th. '54 Ed Palumbo here. This could be the break he needs with Paul Brown making a pit stop. Take a look at Givaldo Spindola in the 68 car. Right now, Givaldo running in the 14th position. We got some guys coming down pit lane here. Paul Brown again on pit lane. A little bit earlier than what I was suspected, but Paul Brown finishing up his pit stop, coming back out on track. He's now in the 10th position. 77 laps in. Winding this bad boy down. As Colin Madiak, the race leader. How about that Big Frank in here? Big Frank in here. Good to see you, Frank. Buenas noches, my friend. How about that, huh? Big Frank. Always enjoy him coming in. And Colin Madiak, one of those young guns. The race leader. Todd Robillard in 2nd. Sean Jacobs shown in the 3rd position. So he's pretty recovered pretty well. You see a 13 car indicating he's coming down pit lane. So giving up the race lead is Colin Madiak to come down pit lane. And, that's going to give the race lead to Todd Robillard. And Colin making a pit stop. John Stanley on pit lane. And there's that side-by-side as the 99 and the 13 on pit lane. John Stanley in the 12 car. The 13, also the 70, 54, Ed Palumbo on pit lane. As the 90 continuing to lead here with 18 laps to go. Those guys see the 13 finishing up his pit stop. 90 car indicating he's going to be coming down pit lane this time by. So Todd Robillard, that Napa-sponsored Chevy Camaro, hitting this time by. Under green, we've had one caution flag. So Sean Jacobs, Jose Carvalho also on pit lane. And I suspect that's going to give the race lead back to Colin Madiak. So, see Todd Robillard on pit lane. .81 laps in. The 13 car, Colin Madiak, through the tri-oval, crossing the start-finish line. Now in P1. Todd Robillard finishing up that pit stop. Paul Brown, remember he pitted early and started this sequence off really, and now he is in P2. And we kind of do our side-by-side view. P2 is Paul Brown. He's second in points coming in tonight, and our points leader, Ed Palumbo, 10th place right now. That is a tight points battle. Both of these guys have led laps. Paul Brown started on the pole, so he's got that those points locked up for earning the pole position. This could come down to the last lap of the championship. Take a look at the points coming into tonight's race. Paul Brown second, 17 points back to Ed Palumbo. See, Jair Olivetti's had some trouble here tonight. DNF, he's in the 17th, going to finish 17th. Just like Carvalho's going to pass him. Preston Hassel also having some troubles tonight, running in the 12th position. Colin Madiak is the race leader right now. He's got an 0.8 of a second lead over Paul Brown, and Paul Brown is thinking, I want to win this race. I need the race win. I got the pole position. I've got some laps led, and now I need to win this race. Great racing going on. Michael Ware here running in the third position in the 48 car. He's having a good night. As you see that 90, this is a little bit earlier here as the 90 coming off pit lane. So Michael Ware now in third. 14 Dan Chu running in the 11th position here tonight. So good to see Dan back. Take a look at Ismael Castro and the 41 of Lawrence Stoppelworth battling for position here on lap 87. Lauren trying to get by that 70 car. Ismael running in that 70. Good to see him as well. He's raced a few races early in the season and kind of got busy, I think, and now back. So a good racing there between the 41 and the 70. And our race leader is the 13 of Colin Madiak. 10 laps to go. extended that race lead a little bit there, 1.4 seconds over Paul Brown. Going to see that gap there. Between P1 and P2. Tell you what, man, we've talked a lot about John Stanley, and he's in a little bit of a hornet's nest right now. The 6X. Sotos just in front of him, and also the 24, Sean Jacobs, in front of him. Now, Sean Jacobs is 4 positions. Sotos right now running in P15. John Stanley going up to the high side here, trying to make that pass and catch up to that 24 car. John Stanley having a good night here, running in 6th. Now, cannot quite pull off that pass. He's going to try to go down to the bottom side here, maybe get by that 6X machine. That Stanley Tools machine now sets his sights on the 24 car. .6X there, buzzing around right now. The 12 car. You get 91 laps in. Wow, man, we got a good battle here with the 90 and the 48. This is a battle for the 3rd position. Todd Robillard and Michael Ware having a battle as we wind down these laps. Side by side, the 90 and the 48. The 48 sticking on the high side, the 90 down on the low line. Todd Robillard going to pick up that spot as he now moves up to P3. 48 of Michael Ware hanging on to that thing in P4. Colin Matiak now extending that race lead, 2.5 second lead. Ed Palumbo, the points leader coming into tonight, is shown in P10 right now. As Paul Brown in P2. Again, the 13 car extending that race lead. .93 laps in. 1 caution flag here tonight. Take a look at Steve Pearson at 72, running in the 14th position. Good to see Steve out in that Captain Morgan sponsor machine. Tell you what, man, here we got a battle for P2. The 90, Todd Robillard down on the bottom side, trying to get by the 77. Oh, no! My gosh, he drifts up there into the 77 car and get hooked into the wall. Let's take a look at that again. As the 90 car dives down to the bottom side, and this thing starts drifting up here, and he's going to get into the 77 car right there, and then the 77 has really no other choice. I mean, he's just staying in his line, and then man, hard lick there for the 90 car late in the run. Oh my heavens! Got a battle right here between the 48 and the 24. Don't forget about John Stanley in this mix with just 2 laps to go. Guess we got 3 laps to go. The 48 here trying to hold on as the 12 and the 24 trying to battle back. 12 car having a good night. Colin Matiak here with 2 laps to go in the 13 car. Todd Robillard picks up P2. How in the world did he get by Paul Brown after smacking the wall? But he did. He's now in P2. So 2 laps to go for Colin Matiak in the 13. So one more lap to go as the 13 car looking pretty solid here. He's got a 4.5 second lead over P2. And after that second pit stop, man, after that pit stop, last one, he looked really, really strong and moved up through, made a few key passes there, and looks like this 13 car is going to come away with a huge race win to finish out the season here at Texas Motor Speedway. So how about that? Colin Matiak gets a big race win in the 13 car. So a good win for Colin Matiak in the 13. Todd Robillard finishes in the second position. John Stanley picking up P3. Paul Brown, 4th position. Michael Ware, 5th. Lauren Stopperworth in the 6th position. Ismael Castro finishes in the 7th position. Jose Cavallo, 8th. Ed Palumbo finishes in P9. Dan Chu finishes in the 10th position. One caution flag tonight. Well, great racing there, man. It's So what a great race there, huh? My heavens, that was great. Great passing. Guys were hanging on for dear life. We'll take a look at the race results here. Finishing results. Colin Matiak gets that big win. Todd Robillard finishes in the 2nd position. John Stanley, how about that, man? Big John getting a great race there in the 3rd place finish. Paul Brown, 4th. Michael Ware finishes in the 5th position. Lauren Stopperworth finishes in 6th. Ismael Castro, good run for him in the 7th position. Jose Carvalho finishes in 8th. Ed Palumbo, 9th position. Dan Chu finishes in 10th. Preston Hassel finishes in the 11th position. Sean Jacobs, he had some late race trouble there, finishes in the 12th spot. Givaldo Spindola finishes in 13th. Steve Pierce, 14th. Satoris Contagoras finishes in the 15th position. Jeff Sickles finishes in 16th. And Jair Oliveira finishes in the 17th position. So congratulations to Colin Matiak. We'll get him up here in the booth in just a moment. Okay, we're going to get Colin Madiak up here in the booth with us and have a little chat with him. All right, got Colin Madiak up here in the booth with us in a big race win at Texas Motor Speedway. Man, that was a heck of a run there after that last round of pit stops. Talk about making that pass there, maybe being patient, and how that race turned out for you.
It was just, it was the Sean strategy. It was just get your head down, save tires, and come back right at the end. Right at the start of the race, I dropped to, I don't remember if it was third or fourth, and let Michael by. Then I passed everybody just because I had fresher tires. It was just simply fresher tires was the key to winning that race.
Well, you had a little bit of a, a scrape maybe coming on pit lane there with the 90 car. And it looked like you had gotten into your pit stall there, sort of to the front of your pit stall. Not a lot of room for the 90 to come in. He got it kind of cockeyed there, cattywampus, if you will. Didn't leave you a lot of room. What was the thought process there? Wait, go to the left. Looked like you went to the left side and there was some contact. Any damage to the car at that point?
The thought process when that happened was that I'm an idiot. I missed the braking zone and just kind of went halfway into his stall, and I tried to go around him, and I realized it was just best to just let him through and give him the place since I messed up his pit stop. So I just decided to let him through and just try and limit the amount of damage, or try not to speed on pit lane.
Well, we had some good green flag pit stops too, and it is a little challenging, I think, to try to keep your head on your shoulders to come down pit lane, not to speed, and sort of get a good clean pit stop. But once you got it back out on the race surface, man, the racing was just great.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to race around everybody. The setup was a bit loose while following and while someone was behind you, so it was a real challenge to kind of keep the car in one spot and not burn up the rear tires too much. But overall, if you just kind of lifted halfway through, you were fine, and you could really get back on the power and slingshot down the straight.
Looks like there's some guys in the chat congratulating you. Noah Townsend congratulating you. Look also Todd Robillard, Jose Carvalho. Those guys send you some congrats too. And really new to racing in the High Octane Racing League and being introduced to some of these guys. How has this been for you this season and racing with these guys?
Absolutely fantastic. I've never ever seen a racing group as just amazing as this. Like, everybody in this group is kind, respectful, and they don't argue and complain when they crash, or they don't argue whose fault it was. They take the blame, and they have a lot of integrity, and it's really important. I think that's why I like driving here so much.
Well, I tell you, next season we start off at Talladega. We got a really interesting season coming up. Next week we get right back at it with Talladega. How do you feel about super speedways?
I think they're some of the coolest things. First time ever doing one was this season at Daytona, and it was really just really cool to see the teamwork that people had, where if you got to move to the outside line, you need like 3 or 4 guys to do it and push your way around and create like this train. And it was just really cool to kind of work with other people who you're racing against.
Well, hey, congratulations. Couple wins this season and a great run in the points battle, and excited to see what's in store for you next season, and great win tonight.
Thanks, Heath.
All right, that's Colin Madiak there joining us up in the booth for his race win. See if we can't get Todd Robillard. Excuse me, did I say Todd Robillard? I saw him in the lobby there. That's why I said his name. Sorry about that. We'll get Ed Palumbo up here in the booth with us, hopefully. All right, we are joined up here in the booth with the 2020 Summer Season High Octane Racing League Series champion, Ed Palumbo. Congratulations.
Pop the champagne. Thank you.
Well, I tell you, you had to be a little bit nervous knowing the strength that was coming at you there with Paul Brown. He wasn't too far back, and I mean, even just, on the edge of, sort of being out of the points battle coming into the last race, if he has got a slight, just in it, just slightly, he's got a chance to win that thing. Was that going through your mind as you were making laps tonight?
No, not at all.
You lying sack of shit.
Well, why would it, right? I knew I just had to finish not being wrecked, right? And I led a lap, stayed out the lead lap, and I wasn't worried about it, really.
All right. Well, fair enough. Man, you've been racing with HORL for a long time, and you've got a lot of championships under your belt, and to get the one sort of where we've now out on our own and get the first one, that's got to be pretty special.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely special, man, because, well, it's an oil grill, right? First time HORL back on its own, and we're doing well and enjoying the racing. We get some good drivers, and it's a blast.
Well, I have to ask you, I really didn't get to see what the incident was there, but it looked like with a sequence of green flag pit stops, there may have been somebody a little bit slower on the track in front of you, maybe making a pit stop or what, but what really went on there? You don't have to call names, but...
I won't call a name, but I don't know. It just looked like he gonna make a pit stop right in front of me. I didn't hear anything or see anything, and ran right to the back of him. Hurt the car pretty good, but the damage is low enough in this series that I got it fixed. The car wasn't quite as good, but I was fighting it.
And how about the lucky dog, huh? I mean, that's the golden horseshoe right there for you.
Yeah, and I don't get those. I thought I was done. I just went on pit road and the caution came out. I don't know. Should I pit? Should I drive through? No, I drove through. I guess it's a good thing. I almost wrecked coming out of there because the tires are so bad. But yeah, I got the lucky dog. I'm not usually lucky. Unlucky, yes. I'm lucky, no.
Well, I tell you, man, I've had so much fun this season and seeing you guys race. Just the racing has just been fantastic. And, we've had, 3 races that have been only one caution flag. We had a caution-free race, and that really is a good sign for things to come, I think.
Yeah, I think it was a very good sign. What did we have? 1 caution tonight, I think?
Yep, 1 caution flag.
Pretty good. I mean, this Texas, it was loose for me. Guys were complaining it was tight, and then later on they're saying, oh, it's loose in, loose off. So, I don't know. It's hard to develop a setup for the Texas track. It's just so fickle of what the track is going to do.
Well, we're working on Saturdays and, officially on Sundays, but a little bit on Saturdays on setups. How valuable do you think the time on the track and the camaraderie that we've got with that small group of guys that seem to be getting together on these weekends, working on setups to help the league out?
I think it's very valuable, although I've struggled tonight, I got to admit. That's what I finished 9th, I think. So not where I wanted to be, but... so, it depends on the track. And this track, like I said, it's so fickle on how it changes. 1 minute it's tight, and then the foot rubber down, and then it's loose as all get out. But apparently the race winner there, Colin, shout out to him. Good job. Winner, I think it's his 2nd win.
Yep.
Yeah, for a young whippersnapper.
Yeah, we were all there once, but when we were there were probably no computers.
No computers.
You got Talladega starting out next season, and then 3 races in, we got a very special race with the Steve Freeze Memorial Race at Michigan, and I know that's got to be one that you're putting on your calendar or definitely marking on your calendar.
Oh yeah. It's the Memorial Race for Steve. That's gonna be great, man. I'm looking forward to that. Talladega is a crapshoot.
Absolutely.
It's crazy racing. Anything can happen out there. But yeah, looking forward to it. It was a great season, and hopefully we keep the drivers and everybody coming out and having fun on a Friday night.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on the championship, and I suspect we're going to see many more out of the 54 car. Good luck to you next season, and I'll be looking forward to seeing you out on the track and also in victory lane again.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get any victories this year, but top fives do it, so there's always that. Yeah. All right, thanks a lot, man, for what you do. Great broadcasting. Enjoy it. Hope everyone enjoys it, and be safe.
All right, bud. Take care, and thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Right, that's Ed Palumbo, the season champion of the 2020 summer season, joining us up there in the booth, and great season for him. No wins, but I tell you what, the consistency counted. He's here every week, and he's got that car. He does a lot of practice laps. He's in the, he's coming to the setup development, and that means a lot too. It really does. And Ed races a lot. I mean, he loves this stuff, and we've got a good set of friends. And Ed and I have known each other for darn near 20 years. Sim racing. It's just astounding to realize that it's actually been that long, and we've been doing this together all that time. So great deal. Really appreciate his friendship, and couldn't be happier to see this championship fall in the hands of the 54 car. All right, we got Todd Robillard up here, the series admin, joining us up in the booth, and just sort of recap the season. He's driving the 90 car. Had a pretty eventful race, to say the least. We'll talk about the race first, and then we'll talk about the High Octane Racing League Buschwackers series. So let's talk about your race there. You had a little bit of a, it looked like, my God, man, you got into the wall pretty hard, and I thought, oh, he's done for, but you battled back.
Yeah, it was an exciting night, I have to say. I had problems everywhere, out on the track, in the pits, up alongside guys. This setup was really challenging to drive, and when you get close to another car, you lose the front end pretty bad in the corner. And you saw late in the race there when I got into Paul, I didn't have any front end grip, and it just kind of turned me to the right.
Yeah, I think for us guys that race sim race, we knew exactly what was going on right there, especially at this track. Some folks that may have been new to watching this race, that probably didn't realize, maybe thought, oh, you were kind of trying to shove him up the track, but we all knew exactly what was going on. I have to ask you about that pit stop there. It looked like the 13 got at the very edge of his box. Didn't give you a lot of room to come in. And what was going through your mind there? You were sort of cattywampus in the pit stall. You had to know something was coming.
Well, yeah, he was ahead of me coming down pit lane, and I saw him slide through his box. And I was still far enough back that I kind of thought he was going to back up. So, he was quite a ways through his box. So I still aimed for my box, figuring that by the time I got there, he was going to be gone, backing, up to into his pit stall. But he didn't. And I kind of, I don't know, I rubbed down the side of his car, getting into my pit stall. By the time I stopped, I was probably deep in my stall also. And I was going to, try and move the car around a little bit. But at that point, they were already pitting the car, which I had a hard time believing because I was so far out on the right-hand side of my pit stall. So I just kind of sat there waiting for him to finish. And Colin had finished probably 3/4 of a second before I did, and we we couldn't stay off of one another getting out of the pit lane.
Yeah, I saw that coming. I said, I just have a feeling this guy is not going to back up and then come out of his pit stall. This is on at this point. I kept kind of in my mind of praying that you were going to come out of your pit stall ahead, so you didn't get into each other.
Well, when we left the pit stall, Sean was to my right. He had already completed his pit stop, and he was coming down pit lane. And Colin was stuck to my door pretty much. I when we hit the line exiting the pits, he backed off, thankfully, or it was going to be big, probably, if we all kind of stuck together there. But it was just a couple of different mistakes that just kind of all came together there. But no harm, no foul. We all got through it.
Well, let's talk about the season here, too. I think for the inaugural season, sort of HORL sort of being now back to being a standalone league, man, do you feel like, I personally feel like I couldn't ask for a better season the way this turned out.
I can't believe how well guys drove for 10 races that had never, well, a bunch of us had driven, raced together before, but there's maybe a third of the field that some guys haven't raced with. And everybody was very respectful. The racing was clean. I mean, you could see that in the races that we had were caution-free or a few cautions. Everybody did a great job. We had a total of 36 drivers in 10 races. Not everybody ran every race, obviously, but 36 guys came out to race with us in 10 races. And I think that's pretty cool for an inaugural season. Everybody did a great job.
I was looking at, or sort of thinking about the caution, the races that were, how many cautions do we have? We had 3 races that are only 1 caution. And I mean, you had a Bristol, you had tonight. I think Martinsville, that was caution free if I remember right. I mean, 1 race caution free and 3 races that were only 1 caution flag. That's pretty amazing.
That is amazing. That is amazing for the group of guys that we have. I mean, some guys come from the, Indy cars and sports cars and stuff like that, and they've never run much with, they haven't run a lot in stock cars, and then, you put them out here with a bunch of guys that they don't know. That's difficult for them, and everybody did a great job.
Well, I was going to take a look at what we've got coming up next week. We've got Talladega Super Speedway to kick off the season. That one is a little bit of a question mark for me. I know it's an easy track to drive, but it's also an easy track to really get in trouble, too.
It is. And I think, there's kind of a reverse psychology when it comes to tracks that are easy to drive as opposed to tracks that are hard to drive. Guys that, when we show up to these super speedways and it's easy to get around the track, I mean, a monkey could hold the wheel going around these tracks, those big tracks. But guys get too comfortable in the cars, and that's why you end up with these big wrecks. Everybody just kind of, I don't know, everybody wants to lead every lap, and it's really hard. You just have to be patient and convince yourself that if you're not, you don't need to race every single minute of every single lap. It's but then we get to these other tracks where the setup is difficult, like tonight. The setup was kind of difficult, and it just creates a different awareness when guys have to really concentrate on what they're doing with everybody else out there, and you end up with what we had tonight, 1 caution race. And honestly, this could have gone caution free easily. The one driver that made the mistake, I mean, it was an easy, simple mistake to make, but I think next week you're going to see a little bit different mindset when it comes to how these guys settle in for the race. They're not going to have as much patience, unfortunately.
Well, we're looking at the schedule for next season. We just put that out. We got, of course, Talladega started off. The Eagle Creek, I think that's one of those tracks that, just fits into what you were talking about. That's one you really got to get up on the wheel and drive. That tends to be a pretty darn good race. Michigan after that on September the 11th, which is going to be the Steve Freeze Memorial Race, 125 laps there, a little bit longer, the Steve Freeze 250. What are your thoughts on that race?
That's a race that that kind of fits in with the Talladegas and the Daytonas, where guys, because it's a big wide open track, we're going to have a little bit of a driver's meeting, tell everybody, you need to settle down. It's a long race. You can't win it on the first lap, obviously, but I know guys are really looking forward to it. I didn't personally know Steve, but I could tell from the way everybody else talks about him, he was a great guy. I didn't get a chance to race in his series when he was around. I wish I had, but that'll be one to watch.
Well, you know, we've got Northside, New Hampshire, Indy, Mountain Peak, Apple Valley, Brookdale, and Las Vegas. You know, the rest of that season. Are there any tracks there that stand out to you?
I like Brookside, and I like Northside and Brookdale. Both are favorites of mine. Brookdale is modeled after Darlington, and Northside is after Richmond. So those are both fun tracks for me.
Well, hey, I want to say thank you for all of the work you do here at HORL and helping us get going and adminning. And, you know, I know guys respect you a great deal on the way that you manage the races. It is an art, and I really think nobody does it as well as you do. And I want to say how much I appreciate you being here at HORL.
Thanks, Heath. It's easy when you're working with people that know what they're doing. I have to admit, I watch these broadcasts, and you smooth out all the bumps. You know, we still have issues on the track sometimes, but I watch your broadcasts, and nobody compares to what you do. It's a really great promotion for this series, and that's why, you know, I look tonight. There was 20 people watching for a while, and that's a lot of it has to do with what you do also.
Well, thank you so much. I enjoy doing it, and you guys are the stars, that's for sure. It would be not very good broadcast without the level of competition that you guys put out there each and every night. And again, thank you, and hey, good luck to you the next season, man.
Thanks, Heath.
All right, bud. All right, that's Todd Robillard, the one of our admins here, and he runs the HORL Buschwackers series, adminning that, and does a great job. You know, sort of level-headed. That's what you need. Doesn't really get bent out of shape. He's guys respect him a great deal, and really, like I said, you couldn't ask for a better guy to be in that position. So invaluable, I would say, in that respect. And we've been friends for a long time, too. He's a good buddy, and really value his friendship, too. Colin Matiak wins the race here tonight. What a young gun, as we're calling him. I think he's 16 years old, man. He just turned 16, I believe. He's just getting his driver's license, and this guy's coming out here and spanking the field. Got a couple of wins here this season, and I know I broadcast some IndyCar races, too, that he's gotten some wins, too. It's a very challenging track, like Watkins Glen in the IndyCars. That's tough. So this guy's got some great talent, and he loves racing, too. As you heard him talk about how great the group of guys here is. The group of guys that, you know, treat him well and you know, respect each other, and great competition. He's really enjoying it, and we're glad to have him. Well, I want to say thank you so much for coming out to the YouTube channel and checking out TurnLeftTV. Man, I can't believe I've had this many people joining us here in the chat session, and thanks to Will. He wasn't out on the track tonight, but he's in here doing squid facts and you know, keeping the chat lively. Good to see Will in here, and I want to say thanks to Will for his help and for helping us with the servers, all the technical side. We wouldn't be here really if it wasn't for the help and the dedication that Will has put in. He's got a busy life, and he dedicates a little segment to us and helping HORL. And I want to say thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. And I'll be I'm excited to see the next painting come out. I was showing some folks at school today the pictures that have been painted. I think his wife does some great painting, and we got the squid painting, we got the cat painting, we got the octopus, so we got all kinds of stuff. So yeah, so that's pretty cool. Great talent there, and what a character, man. He always keeps you on the edge of your seat, that's for sure. But hey, thank you for coming in, and also if you'd like to donate to the channel, you can click on the donate button up there in the banner of the channel, make a donation straight through PayPal. Also, speaking of Will, by the way, if I need to get an advertisement going for him, but if you're interested, if you got a sim racing league going on and you're looking for a server, you need to give him a look. That is EliteHostingUSA.com. EliteHostingUSA.com. We'll get a banner up for him. And he'll set you up with a server package for your league like no other, man. I'll tell you what, this server has been flawless for us. Absolutely flawless for us this entire season. Not one hiccup. And I am thankful for that. And again, Will does a great job, and you couldn't ask for a better host there. And don't forget to visit ziacomics.com, your nerd headquarters. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. ziacomics.com. All things comic, your nerd headquarters. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight here on TurnLeftTV. Tell you what, man, I am so impressed with the job that Ed Palumbo did this season. So congratulations on a great championship to Ed Palumbo. We'll see if he can repeat next season, not to put any pressure on him. But right now, I'm out of here.